Welcome to Sira Farm, where we teach you various types of agriculture. So today we will talk about basics of biosecurity in a poultry farm. After watching this video, please try to share to other farmers so that they can learn from this knowledge. If you have any questions in our last video and this current video, you can drop it in comments section and I will reply you immediately. Please, I want to subscribe to this channel and like this video to receive free consultation about your farming business. You can also send messages on WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail because we want to know you and be a partner with you. Our contact is on the description and comments section. Let's start the video. Biosecurity refers to procedures used to prevent the introduction and spread of disease-causing organisms in poultry flocks. Because of the concentration in size and location of poultry flocks in current commercial production operations and the inherent disease risks associated with this type of production, it is imperative that poultry producers practice daily biosecurity measures. Developing and practicing daily biosecurity procedures as best management practices on poultry farms will reduce the possibility of introducing infectious diseases such as Gumboro, infectious coryza, and Newcastle, as well as many others. Poultry farmers should be familiar with the specifics of their farm's biosecurity protocols and work closely with poultry vets to implement those programs. Before implementing biosecurity programs, farmers should check with their qualified vets to be sure the measures taken are consistent and compatible with their daily farm activities. How microorganisms spread. The primary method of spreading disease-causing microorganisms between poultry flocks is the use of contaminated equipment or exposure to contaminated clothing and footwear of humans. Infected animals, such as wild birds and rodents, can also be a source of disease for poultry flocks. Disease-causing viruses and bacteria can be transported from one flock to another on bird transporting equipment, trucks, tractors, and other farm equipment, as well as egg trays and poultry crates. Humans and animals are also important ways of transporting disease-causing organisms. Disease-causing microbes have been found on humans' clothes, shoes, skin, and hair. As a result, many hatcheries and breeder facilities utilize shower-in and shower-out protocols as part of their biosecurity programs. Animals such as dogs, cats, mice, rats, and free-flying birds are also known to be carriers of disease organisms. Insects such as flies, beetles, and mosquitoes are well known to be carriers of disease microbes as well. Another, but less risky form of transmission is through the air. The following steps are a summarization of standard measures that poultry producers may use on their farms to increase the biosecurity of their flocks. Learn about poultry farming business through Sira Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on seller.core. View on sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training. After payment, the ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. 1. Keep visitors to a minimum. Human transportation of microorganisms is one of the more serious threats to biosecurity. Restriction of unnecessary human traffic is a major component of a sound program. Farmers should restrict visitors and make sure that any visitor to their farm has a good reason to be there. Farmers should provide protective coverings such as boots, coveralls, and headgear to any visitors that work with, or have had recent contact with poultry. This would include friends, neighbors, relatives, equipment, and utility service personnel. Visitors should never enter poultry houses unless approved by the farm management. Traffic through poultry houses should always flow from younger to older birds. One useful measure is keeping records of visitors that have been on the farm. If a problem arises, knowing who was there will help in limiting additional flock infections. Farmers may post signs at the entrance to the farm indicating that entry to the farm and facilities is restricted. Poultry breeders and vets work to educate members of the local community of the risks to their flocks and the need to restrict traffic on their farms. This can be done by attending poultry farmers training/meetings and speaking to groups and individuals about this subject. Print an article in the local newspaper about the importance of biosecurity for your farm and others. 2. Limit visitations to other poultry farms. Poultry farmers should refrain from visiting other poultry operations unless absolutely necessary. Whenever it is necessary to visit another farm, farmers should be sure to exercise additional precautions such as showering and changing clothes before arriving and washing any vehicle before entering a farm. It will be very important for growers to wear protective clothing including boots, coveralls, and headgear, and to clean and disinfect all clothing and equipment before returning to their facilities. Showering and changing into clean clothes will also be necessary. 3. Keep all animals out of poultry houses. Animals can be carriers of poultry disease-causing organisms. Farmers should not allow pets such as dogs, cats, or other animals in their houses. Some growers will allow their dogs to walk the houses with them, but this is risky because the dogs may have been exposed to other animals or birds that have been contaminated with disease organisms. Poultry houses should be kept as closed as possible to prevent wild birds from getting inside. Wild birds utilizing the feeders and defecating in the houses can be a source of diseases. 4. Practice sound rodent and pest control programs. Rats, mites, mice, and insects such as flies and darkling beetles can carry and spread microorganisms. Growers should consult with their poultry company and practice effective rodent and insect control programs. Eliminating or reducing as many of these pests as possible will reduce the risk of contracting or spreading a disease. Learn about poultry farming business through Sierra Farm 5 ebooks which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on seller.core. View on sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training after payment. The ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. 5. Avoid contact with non-commercial poultry or local birds or wild birds. Poultry growers should avoid all contact with non-commercial sources of poultry including backyard flocks, fanciers, fairs, poultry shows, and markets. These types of poultry are seldom fully vaccinated for the major poultry diseases and they are often exposed to many types and flocks of birds. Non-commercial birds represent extremely high-risk contacts. Employees should not be allowed to own their own poultry and neighbors with backyard flocks should be informed of the importance of getting sick or unhealthy birds to a diagnostic lab as soon as possible. Farmers should also avoid wild birds such as ducks, geese, and turkeys. Farmers with farm ponds should be particularly concerned with the potential of carrying droppings from wild birds around ponds into their poultry houses. Wild birds are well known to be carriers of the avian influenza virus as well as other poultry diseases. Hunters should be sure they take the same biosecurity precautions as if they were visiting another poultry farm, i.e. showering, changing clothes, sanitizing vehicles, etc. Do not allow any worker at your farm who eats wild birds. 6. Inspect flocks daily. Farmers are required to inspect their flocks every day. Mortality should be picked up daily and disposed of in a timely and approved method. Stockpiling mortality and allowing carcasses to decompose before disposal increases the risk of spreading disease via rodents and insects. Every farm must have an incinerator. Farmers should report increases in mortality or signs of health problems to their vets or breeder company representative immediately. This is required and will ensure a rapid detection and response should a disease be present. Farmers should check with their vets before using any vaccines, medications, or drug treatments for a flock health problem. Timely reporting of health issues on a farm will not only help restrict additional infections, but will minimize losses to the farmer. 7. Maximize the environment. Maintaining litter in a relatively dry condition, i.e. 20%-30%, and providing good ventilation will help control microorganism numbers. Wet conditions combined with warm in-house temperatures provide a good growth environment for most disease-causing organisms. Good ventilation also helps reduce microorganisms, as fresh air entering and leaving the house dilutes microbe populations and removes them from the house. Poor ventilation can result in irritation of the respiratory tract of birds, making them more susceptible to bacterial and viral infections. 8. Keep areas around houses and feed bins clean. Keeping grass and weeds cut around poultry houses and removing used equipment or trash is beneficial in keeping rodent and insect populations under control. Thick grass or weeds and old equipment provide refuge and habitat for rats, mice and insect pests that can spread disease. Spilled feed should be cleaned up regularly and not allowed to collect for long periods of time. Spilled feed around the feed bins will attract birds, rats, mice and insects. 9. Recognizing disease symptoms. It is important for poultry growers to be aware of signs of disease in their flocks. Early detection of contagious diseases can greatly reduce the impact and spread of that disease to other flocks. Clinical signs associated with the possibility of a disease in a poultry flock are lack of energy and appetite, decreased egg production, soft-shelled eggs or misshapen eggs, swelling of the head, eyes, comb, wattles, and hocks, purple discoloration of the wattles, combs, and legs, nasal discharge, coughing, wheezing, and sneezing, lack of coordination in mobility, diarrhea, sudden or excessive mortality without clinical signs. Note, for the love of your birds, reduce their dependency on antibiotics by practicing good biosecurity measures, and supplement them on some recommended and approved medications for 7 to 10 days a month. Supplement them with recommended medications that improves weight gain in broilers, reduces mortality, improves appetite, improves egg production, keeps birds and other animal species healthy, fights against stress, improves liver function, and reduces dependency on antibiotics. Learn about poultry farming business through Sira Farm 5 ebooks, which have helped a lot of farmers and have over 85,000 plus downloaded. Review on seller.core. View on sellar.com. Get the book in comments section with free training after payment. The ebook will be sent to your email address. That is why sellar.co is asking for your email address. My WhatsApp number is inside the ebook for the training. Let's continue the video. Do you have any questions, suggestions, or other contributions? Kindly use the comment box provided below for all your contributions. You are also encouraged to please kindly share this video with others you feel can benefit from this information if found useful enough, as we may not be able to reach everyone at the same time. Thank you so much.